The last section that we're going to cover is homeostatic imbalances of the nervous system. So we're going to start off with headaches. There are several kinds of headaches, but the first one we're going to talk about is tension headaches. These typically are caused by prolonged muscle contraction in the head, face, and neck. Migraine headaches, on the other hand, are caused by an imbalance in the brain's chemistry, typically low levels of the neurotransmitter serotonin. Strokes can be caused, or are also known as a cerebral vascular head accident. These are typically caused by an interruption of blood flow to a region of the brain, resulting in the death of nerve cells. The extent and type of impairment caused by a stroke depends on the affected region of the brain. Some of the more common causes of a stroke are going to be blood clots that block vessels or fatty deposits that block a vessel. So it's caused by an interruption in that blood flow by a blocked vessel. A coma is going to be caused by trauma to neurons and regions of the brain responsible for stimulating the cerebrum, so the reticular activating system. The person is going to be totally unresponsive to all sensory input and cannot be wakened. This is different from a deep sleep in that the individual is not necessarily hitting a resting phase, they're just not responding to sensory information. Spinal cord injury is going to result in the loss of function below the site of injury. Depending on which nerve tracts are damaged, it could result in paralysis or loss of sensation or both. If the cord is completely severed, there is going to be complete loss of sensation and complete loss of voluntary movement below the level of that cut. That's it for this chapter. You should be able to compare the functions of the central and peripheral nervous system, the somatic and autonomic nervous system, and the parasympathetic and the sympathetic divisions of the nervous system. You should also be able to identify the location and list the function of each component of the central nervous system. So when we talked about all those different parts of the brain, you should know all their different parts and their function. You should also be able to describe the function of the somatic and autonomic nervous systems, the parasympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. This really does go back to bullet point 1, just fleshing it out a little bit further. And then finally, explain the cause and the seriousness of common health problems and injuries associated with the nervous system. Specifically, I'm going to ask you to pick one homeostatic imbalance of this system and then flesh it out. What causes it? What are the symptoms? What are the treatments? So pick one homeostatic imbalance of the nervous system and adopt it as your own. And that's it for this chapter.